have my green shirt on, so I bet you can guess what that means. You're right. Today I'm sharing picture books for you to share with your class all about St. Patrick's Day. If you look closely, I even have my rainbow earrings on that my sister-in-law made. And oddly enough, this is my only green shirt that I own, even though it's my favorite color. But anyway, let's jump into those St. Patrick's Day since it's the beginning of March, and I know that you'll be sharing some of these books with your students over the next few weeks. And I have some fiction and nonfiction books to share with you as well, all about this holiday. So let's jump right into it. The first book I have is The Luckiest St. Patrick's Day Ever. In this book, the Leprechaun family is getting ready for St. Patrick's Day. They're gearing up for the big parade, they're making delicious food to share with their family and their friends so that they can all have a feast and enjoy this holiday together. This is a simple, cute little book with rhyming words that I think your class will really enjoy and love to learn just a little bit about the holiday and some of the traditions that go along with it. The next book I have is called Green Shamrocks by Eve Bunting. And I'm gonna start off by saying it's not my favorite Eve Bunting book. This one was a little different, but it's a good one for St. Patrick's Day. In this book, Rabbit is growing shamrocks in his favorite yellow pot. He's so excited to grow these shamrocks and have them ready for the St. Patrick's Day parade. And just as he's ready to pick them, his yellow pot goes missing. So a rabbit goes on a search to find out what happened to his pot of shamrocks. Well, he finally finds them at Goat's place. And he says, "Goat, did you steal my shamrocks?" And Goat says, "No, this pot just blew in with the wind." And then Rabbit sees the shamrocks on the table next to a fork, a knife, and a plate. And he's so worried that Goat is going to eat his shamrocks, but don't worry, Goat doesn't like to eat leaves for breakfast. And they decide to share it. Goat really wants this pot, and Rabbit wants the shamrocks, and they both get to wear them for the St. Patrick's Day parade at the end of the book. Another fun story for St. Patrick's Day to share with your class. This next one isn't so much about St. Patrick's Day, but it does have to do with Ireland and leprechauns as well, and I think it's one your students will really get a kick out of. This one is Jamie O'Rourke and the Big Potato by Tommy DePaula. And in this book, Jamie O'Rourke is the laziest man in all of Ireland. He doesn't want to do anything. And his wife tells him that if he doesn't go out and get the garden ready, they're not going to have any food. Well, he decides not to do it, and when she goes out, she hurts her back. So Jamie O'Rourke looks for a different way to get food rather than actually doing the hard work. He comes across a leprechaun, and instead of giving him gold, he gives him a seed for potato. Jamie does go home and plant it, and he wakes up to find the biggest potato ever. He doesn't know what he's gonna do with it, so he invites the villagers over to help him get rid of it. They all end up eating more potatoes than they ever want to see again in their lives. And they've decided that if Jamie doesn't plant another potato like this, then they will help him and his wife with all the food that they'll ever need. This is a great book for talking about cause and effect. And if you check out my March bundle of interactive read-alouds, you'll see that there is a read-aloud lesson to go with Jamie O'Rourke and the Big Potato, and it's all about cause and effect and how it comes up in this book. A great lesson to use. I will leave the link in the description box down below so that you can use it in March with your students. This next one might look familiar because there is one of these for almost every holiday and season. This is The Night Before St. Patrick's Day by Natasha Wing. And similar to the other books in the series, it follows the similar pattern of the night before poem, but it is applied to that specific holiday. So this one is all about wearing green and getting ready and setting a trap for the leprechaun. And Tim and Maureen go right along with that. These two kids set a trap for their leprechaun, and they're so excited when they wake up and find their room a mess. The leprechaun was definitely there. And their trap did catch him, but that leprechaun has a few tricks up his sleeve, and you'll have to read the story to find out what silly thing happens at the end of the story. Another great read aloud for St. Patrick's Day. Another book that I have for St. Patrick's Day is a nonfiction one, and this one is by one of my favorite nonfiction authors for children, St. Patrick's Day by Gail Gibbons. And as I was reading this, I realized it was kind of an older book and that it was a little outdated, but I was at Barnes & Noble over the weekend and I found an updated version that came out very recently, either in 2022 or right at the beginning of 2023. And I'll leave a link to that in the description box down below so you can grab the updated version of it. But in this book, you'll learn the story of Patrick's life, legends about this saint, and the history of the holiday. And the colorful illustrations really bring to life how people celebrate St. Patrick's Day, with parades and wearing the color green and having wonderful feasts. This book is filled with facts, legends, and traditions. It's ideal for kids learning about this holiday, the Irish culture, and its history. Another great read aloud to share with your class. The next two are very similar, and I have a feeling that teachers are getting ready to share them with their class because I could not get either one of them from the library. So that means they must be good. The first one is How to Catch a Leprechaun by Adam Wallace. It's all about planning day and night to create the perfect trap full of rainbows and glitter and shamrocks and all things St. Patrick's Day related to catch that leprechaun. And now all you need to do is wait. Is this the year that you'll finally catch that wily leprechaun? This is a great book to inspire students, inspire kids to create their own leprechaun trap, to use their imagination and their thinking skills to figure out the best way to catch that leprechaun before he sneaks away. Another great read aloud for the classroom for St. Patrick's Day. And in similar fashion, How to Trap a Leprechaun is all along the same lines, about creating that perfect trap to catch the leprechaun. Because legend has it that if you catch one, he'll grant you one wish. But you need to be careful because leprechauns are full of trickery. You need to figure out, your students need to figure out how to outsmart this guy. Another one to get your students' creative juices flowing and thinking about how they're going to create their own trap to catch that leprechaun before he gets away on St. Patrick's Day. The next book that I have, my daughter insisted that I include in this video because she says she's read it before and thought it was a really great one for St. Patrick's Day. This one is called Jack and the Leprechaun. And in the story, Jack is a mouse and he is going to visit his family in Ireland for St. Patrick's Day. And while he's there, they teach him all about how they get ready to celebrate this holiday. He learns about their customs and their traditions. And while he's there, he thinks that he's catching glimpses of the leprechaun as it's dashing in and out of the woods. You'll have to read this one with your students to find out who he truly sees in the corner of his eye. Another great book for St. Patrick's Day is one that is part of a series that I'm sure you've shared with your students before, but this one is There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Clover, and the little old lady is back and just in time for St. Patrick's Day. And in this one, she's swallowing all sorts of items to make the perfect rainbow to hide a pot of gold. These books are great for talking about sequencing in your class, so this would be a great lesson to share with your students, a great book to read aloud right before St. Patrick's Day. And this last book that I have is a simple one. This one is called Lucky Tucker, and it's very basic, more for those younger students in your classes, but this cute little doggy will definitely get them interested. In this book, Tucker wakes up on March 17th and nothing is going his way. And I know we've all had days like that. He goes for a walk in the rain and it's too early. He gets his toy stuck under the couch and he thinks, I just need to figure out how to turn my luck around, how to turn my day around. So he rolls around in a patch of clover and there's a leprechaun watching him from behind a bush. And all of a sudden, Tucker's luck starts to turn. He gets a delicious bite of ice cream, he gets some brand new toys, he gets to have fun and play instead of a bath. I think your young readers will get a kick out of Tucker and how his luck changes throughout this story on March 17th. So that is my collection of St. Patrick's Day books, and I'd love to hear any other book ideas that you have. So leave a comment below with your favorite St. Patrick's Day book to share with your class. And I hope that you get to read some of them aloud in the next couple weeks. And make sure you stay tuned for next week's video. I had asked previously what type of books you guys would be interested in seeing, and a lot of people responded that they wanted books for certain subject areas. So next week, to celebrate Pi Day, I thought it would be great to share some math read aloud books that you can share with your students. So make sure you stay tuned for next Sunday night, where I will have books all about math for you to read aloud in your classroom. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have a great week.